fuck going on, man? I just started one before this. Started it on accident, man. I didn't mean to start it yet. And I was just gonna keep going, but then I'm like, shit, I don't wanna keep going. So I turn it off and I restart again. But for that, I guess just got off work, took a shit. I was gonna rate it a pretty high shit, but then it turned into one of those shits where you gotta sit there and wipe and wipe and wipe. I hate those ones, man. Cause then you're sitting there, you're like, Jesus Christ, is this ever gonna end? Feels like you're using the whole roll of toilet paper, and you're like, God damn, man, I just want to get off the toilet already. Sometimes your ass starts to bleed, and there's still shit. I don't know if anybody else has this experience, but I have this experience. Well, me and Chance recorded a pod last night, but the motherfucker got fucked up. That's why I'm sitting on the phone. I'm actually using the microphone as a tripod, and it's working pretty well. It's pretty square on me, and I kind of like it. But we're going to record, well, we did record a podcast last night. Recorded like 40 some minutes, and 20 minutes or some shit got fucked up. So we think that it is the app we've been using, because the app we use, you use your phone to cast to the computer, and then your phone becomes the camera that you use for the recording. And we think that's the problem, because the only thing in between that is that fucking program. So we're gonna get an actual webcam, and we're gonna see if that changes things, because we've had some pretty good podcasts with Blair. We've had some podcasts with Chance, me. They've all gotten corrupted, and the audio's gotten fucked up. First we thought it was the laptop, then the cord. We're just trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Plus, we got that video that got deleted for the reasons we can't speak on. But I'm trying to figure out what to do with that, because the problem is, I was going to make a website, but that's not what I need. Because a website's to sell things, or to advertise something, or to, essentially, that's about all it's for. Sell something or advertise something, unless you got like a game online or some shit, but that ain't what I'm trying to do. I just want somewhere where I can post videos. And with Spotify, for podcasters, you kind of lose the video function. You're not allowed to put videos up, and so we'd only be able to do the audio version, which the benefit to that would be, I was thinking about this at work, the benefit to that would be that we would attain the ability to turn off the screen and be able to just listen, so more people would be able to listen while they're doing things, rather than just setting the phone down and listening, right? Because it is kind of a hassle to have to keep the phone open and fucking, I understand all that. I'm always thinking about all this shit, because I'm 100% dedicated to this shit. I'm gonna make some shit happen, because this shit's cool. It's a cool thing to do. I mean, it's really hard. It looks easy. It looks like you're just talking, but it's really fucking hard to just sit here and formulate sentences and do like cohesive ideas. You know what I'm saying? Because essentially I'm just thinking out loud. That's why a lot of shit comes out fucked up, or it doesn't sound right. And sometimes I'm not clear enough. Sometimes I gotta explain myself better. But with that Jesus Christ, censorship stuff, I wish that we could just get back to where YouTube was a open platform where people just post their ideas. And I understand we gotta have some regulation to where you can't have like terrorism and all that bullshit on YouTube, but like there's got to be some limit because the algorithm kind of boots out some fucked up shit. And I don't know what the fuck I can say and what I can't anymore. That's the problem. I start self-censoring. And I don't want to self-censor. I want to be 100% honest and open with you guys. And that's why I got to like dance around words sometimes when it comes to this kind of shit. So maybe we should just never talk about it. Because I don't know what the fuck, like, I can cover, what I can't cover. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, it's kind of a sketchy world out here today. It goes directly against our First Amendment rights and our freedom of speech. It takes our liberties away. We don't have the right to say what we want or what we feel or what we've been led to believe. You know what I'm saying? Whether that belief is correct or not, we should have the freedom to express that belief. Yeah, there's going to be a whole community of motherfuckers that believe in that shit, like the flat earth theory or the space is fake theory or the hollow earth theory, you know what I'm saying? But the good ideas will weed out these bad ideas. That is the only way to fucking get these ideas to, like, if you got bad ideas and the ideas are not solid, then they won't hold up if better ideas come out, is basically what I'm trying to say. And, like, it kind of sucks that we don't have that really anymore. We don't have that freedom to just say what the hell we want. Because this is America. That's what this country was built on, was freedom and the ability to speak and do and say what you feel right, as long as you do not infringe on the right of others. Because we are guaranteed 3 unalienable rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And it's kind of sketchy, man. It's starting to look like they're trying to get rid of all that shit. And I don't fuck with it, man. And you know, I know I always sound like a conspiracy theorist, and I think of myself, I'm like, damn, if I didn't know all this shit, if not necessarily know it, but if I didn't research all the shit I researched, then I wouldn't think any of what I said was true. I'd be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? 'Cause I'm just sitting here rambling to a fucking camera, just in my work clothes smelling like shit, talking about how I took a shit. Hey, man, just having a good time, just chilling. You know, you gotta have a good time. When you're not working, you gotta grind hard, but you gotta play hard too. I'm listening to a lot of podcasts today. Some really good ones, like Jordan Peterson and shit. And I like the way he recites he always talks about like biblical texts and stuff. And the way he recites them is so, like, it touches your soul. It's like, holy shit. That makes a lot of sense. And like, he takes it from a religious aspect to where it applies to everything. Because it's like, that's all religion and shit is. It's just stories. And because before the written word, before we wrote down Jesus Christ, I need to fucking learn to speak. Before we wrote stuff down, and before we learned to read the stuff we wrote down and associate these symbols with sounds and meaning, we had to tell stories to each other to pass information, you know what I'm saying? And that turns into like a game of telephone. And that's what these religions, I think, and a lot of ancient texts are trying to say. They're trying to display a story of something that I think a lot of it actually happened. Because if all you have is stories to tell, like the Great Flood, I didn't believe in that before, but Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson are pretty fucking convincing on the Younger Dryas impact theory. And it's pretty insane. I think that it is a miracle that we're even sitting here today. And the fact that I can just sit here and record, man, I'm pretty happy to be able to do this. I have the freedom I talk about the loss of freedom and all that shit a lot, but we still do have a lot of freedom in this country. We have a lot. That's why everybody's still trying to come here. Because America is, the idea of what America is supposed to be is the greatest country on fucking planet Earth. It's a democracy in which we all have the ability to put in our vote to decide what goes down. And we elect these public officials that represent us. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ. I got a hat here. But the system got fucked up along the way. And yeah, we lost a lot. And we keep losing more because people aren't aware to what's going on. They're not up to the facts and up to date, you know what I'm saying? Because once we get out of high school and either go to college or go into the workforce, we stop learning about this shit, you know what I'm saying? Because either you gotta work and you gotta support yourself, or you got to complete your degree and you gotta get out of there and get a job and do all this other shit. Life's really fucking, it takes you on a goddamn roller coaster. You fucking, as soon as you're born, you fucking get in the goddamn roller coaster and you just start zooming. And you don't stop. You don't ever stop until you die. And hopefully you have a glorious death to where it's painless and it's peaceful and you're at peace and you join whatever ancient spirit that controls this universe, you know what I'm saying? But it's roller coaster, man. And we make a lot of mistakes as humans, unfortunately. We make a lot of mistakes. It's crazy. I try not to make mistakes, but I still make mistakes. I still fuck up, man. And then I'm like in my brain, I'm like, God damn, I know I need to stop doing this shit. And then I keep doing this shit, and I'm like, I need to fucking get myself together, and it's hard. It's hard to get control of yourself. That's why you can't really control anybody else. Because you got to work on yourself. You got to figure out how to get yourself together. And that is a constant battle. Keeping yourself together is a constant battle that sometimes you don't win. Sometimes, that's the thing about war. You're constantly at war with the animalistic nature, I suppose. Animalistic nature within yourself. And you're constantly at battle with it, trying to fight pleasures and urges and jealousy and greed and emotions and all this bullshit. And we're just fighting. We're always fighting. And sometimes we don't win the battles. But if you keep picking yourself back up, and that requires a lot. I've been listening to podcasts about willpower and a bunch of other shit. And with willpower, you got to get good sleep, and it just takes you back to taking care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself, not just get good sleep, but you got to eat well. You gotta work out. You gotta not necessarily work out, but move your body. You know what I'm saying? Like, stay active, and you don't want to become sedentary, because then your body hurts all the time, and you can't move, and it sucks. It sucks, man. It sucks not being able to utilize your body to its full potential. I used to not be able to, obviously. A lot of people who watch this shit know that, but I used to not be able to I used to get out of breath, and fucking everything used to hurt. Shit hurts now, but I know it's because my muscles are growing and shit. Been taking creatine and protein powder. I'm trying to get, I don't know what I'm trying to do, to be honest. Now that I'm sitting here talking about it, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just know that shit you're supposed to take when you're working out, and I go pretty hard. Try to get in there often. So I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. We're just finding out. I'm just experimenting. That's how I've learned the gym and learn everything else in life, I guess, is just experiment. What you should do is gain the information first, and then you can experiment and figure out like what's safe, what's effective, what has risks and benefits. Everything has risks and benefits, obviously, but you got to figure out what has more benefits than risks, because there's a lot of risks you got to take in life. So it's not about not taking any risks when you're going through life. It's about minimizing the risks that you have to take, and taking the risks bring you benefits in the future. Say, quitting a job and going for a better one, or going to college, or doing something. You know what I'm saying? You just got to do something to better yourself. Because I think that's the goal. I think that's the goal of life. I was thinking about this the other day, that I think the entire point of life is to give yourself up. Give yourself to something above yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, even if you don't think about it on like a spiritual level, right? Something, I'll talk about that in a second, but if you think about it on a biological level, regardless if you're male or female, say you raise a family, or you have animals, or you got a boyfriend or girlfriend, or whatever the fuck you're into, helicopters or fucking gerbils, whatever the fuck you want, I don't care. That is not the point here. But what the fuck was my point? You made me lose my fucking point, alright? Now I gotta remember. I'm just kidding. I would never blame you. Just evaporated from my brain. Oh yeah, I remember. So, my back itches. Hold on. So I think the main point of life is to give yourself up to something higher than yourself. Biologically, I think that means to, like, regardless if you're male or female, have a boyfriend or girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? I already said all that. We don't need to say that again. So you're giving yourself over. You're setting your needs aside and sacrificing your time, energy, and committing yourself to whatever it may be, even if it's a plant, dude. Humans always they always want a higher purpose. We're always looking for something that allows us to utilize our potential to create and to manipulate our environment. We're always trying to do, like, unless we're greedy and we're like narcissistic and shit, we're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're always trying to do something better. You know what I'm saying? Make things better. I feel like that's what what good people are trying to do, is make things better, regardless if that's through children or a job or whatever it may be. And I think that we're giving ourselves over. Like, if I'll give the example of a family, male or female, you are having children, you are not only giving yourself and sacrificing your needs for your significant other, sacrificing your time, all this other shit, and committing to this person, but you're committing to these children, and you're committing to this household you guys are building together, and you're committing to the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to think about it on a spiritual level, then it's obviously some kind of energy up there. Not up in space. I don't know where it is. It's not up there. I shouldn't say up there. I feel like it's everywhere. It's everything. I feel like everything is this energy. Because molecules and atoms, I don't know what, I'm not going to speak on molecules because I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. But atoms are 99% empty space. And that's what everything's made out of. So something has to piece that together. And I think it's some energy, you know what I'm saying? Because there's like radio waves, and there's like TV waves, and there's like electricity. There's all this energy all the time, you know, wind, solar, power, like water. Fucking earth can be energy if you find fossils and shit, you know what I'm saying? feel like everything's energy in some sense. Energy for what, I have no idea. We can speculate on it. Um, Maybe it's just energy that fuels the universe. I mean, essentially it fuels our universe. It's what got us to this point. Whether it be electricity or radio waves or TV or any of that. And that's all through the air. Like, what is that? What is this? It's just frequencies and shit. Like, what does that mean? Obviously, it's like vibrations and shit, but like, what the fuck are we talking about? If you brought this to like a monkey or something, like, they wouldn't understand what the hell you're saying. Like, what the hell? You're telling me, like, they can't understand this. To us humans, it's like, oh, this is just normal everyday life. It's kind of interesting. It's interesting what humans can adapt to and what can become normal. And we're always like scared of change. We're always like, I don't want this to happen. I don't want that to happen. Global climate change and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? I need to stop talking about shit that's gonna get me canceled. But yeah, I'm just sitting here riffing, just talking. But I forgot my point again. I guess we'll see what happens, man. I'm gonna keep trying to do this shit no matter what. The loyal people will keep following. And we're gonna keep popping out. We're gonna keep talking. Because we got fucking crazy shit going on in the world. Like, fucking Chance sent me a video of a Baltimore, Maryland bridge falling because a boat hit it. Like, what the fuck? It's insane. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about all the time. We think everything's structured and everything's just stable and everything's just going to stay one way. But it's always changing and we're scared of it. We're like, no, I don't want that to happen, but we got to let it happen. Like, now we got to figure out a different way to build bridges. Like, if they build the same, imagine if they built the same type of bridge there. Like, if they built the same type of bridge there, we got a fucking issue, dude. Like, what are you doing? Why are you building the same bridge that didn't work last time? Sure, it worked for a long time, but it's going to fall eventually. It's going to have wear and tear. We need to figure something else out, clearly. We used to have wooden bridges, and now we have steel bridges, and now what's the next phase of bridges? Maybe we get fucking different types of cars. I don't know, man. We can't be doing this stupid shit anymore. Humans need to start learning how to adapt and figure it out. We need to stop bitching and moaning and figure it out. And it's hard. I bitch and moan plenty. I start, baby. I do that shit. But we got to figure out how to get better and how to get to a point where everybody's sitting, just chilling. We got to get to be chilling on the planet. We don't got to be fucking rich. We don't got to be famous. We don't got to be fucking doing none of this shit. We just got to be in a place where we're peaceful and we're chilling and we're having a good time. Because when we're having a good time in life, life's good. And that's all we need. Like, you don't need fucking... Sure, money helps. It does some good stuff sometimes, but you don't need that to feel good. You can do other things to feel good. Like, exercise feels pretty good. You don't need money for that. You can go outside, take a walk, run, do some push-ups, fucking do some pull-ups. Just do something. Like, you don't want to waste life. You know, as far as we know, there could be something else out there. Fuck, my leg hurts. I'm a firm believer that there's something else out there. But in case there's not, and this is the only life we get, we gotta live this one to the motherfucking fullest, man. It doesn't matter. We gotta fucking cherish what we got. We gotta be grateful. We gotta fucking thank God every day that we wake up. Now we can do this shit. And it sucks. It sucks a lot sometimes. That's what I was talking about, that I bitch and moan and shit, because I get tired of having to get up all the time and go to the gym and go to work and cook food and do all this other shit. And then I fucking start tweaking about getting fat again or stupid shit. Like, I try so hard to stay in like a happy state of mind and like just stay at peace, but it's so hard to hold on to. That shit's always like slipping out. What's it like? It's like trying to grab a soap bar in the shower. You know what I'm saying? That's why they say not to drop the shit soap in prison. But like, that's exactly what it is. Except it's like this soup. It's like a new soap that like nobody's ever had before, and it's super slippery. It's extra slippery soap to get you extra clean. You know what I'm saying? And so this soap, it keeps slipping out of your hand, and you're like, oh fuck, shit, god damn it. You're just trying to stay at peace, but you can't really do that all the time. And really, it's the same side of it's the same side. It's the different side to the same coin. Forget what I'm saying sometimes. It's the same. It's a different side to the same coin. What I mean by that is, you wouldn't really know what peace was without having a little bit of friction. I think that I like friction. I don't think I like it necessarily like my conscious brain likes it, but I think because of like the way I was brought up and shit, I've always had a little bit of friction. You know what I'm saying? There's always been a little bit of friction everywhere around me. And so I think that's what I do to myself. Sometimes bad, in a bad way, sometimes in a good way. Like, a good way might be working out a lot because I need some fucking relief, you know what I'm saying? Or a bad way might be drinking too much. And I don't want to do that shit no more. That shit fucks you up. Don't drink. Don't drink. It's not good for you. It doesn't make you feel good. It might make you feel good in the short term, but that's the problem. A lot of things in this life make you feel good in the short term. And that's what you got to worry about, is looking for the shit that makes you feel good in the long term. That's why I exercise and meditate and work and I do shit that's going to make me benefit in the long term. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to focus on if you want to better yourself. And I got to clean my room. I got to clean the kitchen. I got to do a lot of shit. But I'm going to do that after the podcast is over. We got plenty of time, boy. We got time for days. But just work on it. Small steps. It doesn't have to be like giant leaps and bounds. And it's not a constant. That's the thing. That's the thing that nobody tells you, is like, when you're trying to work on yourself and shit, sometimes you might feel like you're going backwards, but sometimes you're going to feel like you're taking giant leaps forward. Sometimes you're going to feel like you're not moving at all. Sometimes it's never constant. You got to be constant, though. That's how you get good. You got to be consistent. You got to get your shit together and replace your bad habits with good ones. Try to be the best person you possibly can be. That's what you got to focus on. Because that's how we make a better earth. If we all cared, and we all have this little bit of care in us, you know what I'm saying? If we didn't care, we wouldn't get mad about stupid shit like government and all that shit, or like how high gas is and all that shit. We all care a little bit. We just got to care more. Care enough to where we educate ourselves and get involved with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And get involved in whatever way you see fit. As long as it's peaceful and you're not damaging anything or any property or none of that shit. You got to be peaceful. Because that's the only way to change anything. If you use violence to try to change something, it's just going to make shit worse. You can't destroy shit all the time. You can't try to bash on shit. It's like trying to use a hammer to fucking put up a window. You know what I'm saying? You're like, and it's gonna break the window. It's because you didn't fucking use the right tool. I don't know what tool you use to put up a window. I have no fucking idea. Hey Siri, what tool do you use to put up a window? A durable caulking gun with sealant. High quality power drill. Strong pry bar. I have no idea what they are talking about. I do not know. My dad knows how to put windows in. I don't know how to do all that shit. It'd be cool to learn one day though. I like Winnebago. I like going to work. I like working out. I like doing all that shit. Just gets tiring doing the same shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, sometimes I wish I was doing, like, more extravagant shit. I don't know. I don't even know what I mean by that. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you have dreams and aspirations and goals and ideas in your head of what you want shit to be. But you don't really know how to get there, or you don't really know how it's going to turn out, or you don't really even know if that's really what you want. Because you don't know. It's just ideas in your head. And you're just trying to navigate your way through life and figure shit out. You know what I'm saying? Life's not easy. That's why we gotta be, Dave Goggins says, life's never gonna get easier. We gotta get harder. Not that way, pause. But our mind, our body, our spirit, we gotta get strong to be able to take the punches life gives us. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy to be alive. We're here. We made it this long. However old you are, we made it this long. And we could, it's not guaranteed. We could fucking get beat up, or some shit could happen right now or tomorrow, or some shit. I could have a heart attack. Some shit could always go down. That's the crazy shit about life. There's always something going down somewhere. Life's never fucking, it's got chaos in it. That's the friction I was talking about. I think humans need a little bit of friction. And I think that's why we've gotten so like complacent and so soft, is because we've taken some of the friction out of our life, you know what I'm saying? Like if not even some, we've taken most of the friction out of our life. Most of the friction now is like driving when it's stressful, or like fucking work stress. It's really not real shit that's like really gonna like, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna like really impact you super hard. It's not gonna like kill you or nothing. Unless, you wanna know, it's not gonna kill you unless the stress kills you. The stress of whatever you're stressing about is gonna kill you. That's what's crazy. Stress is a fucking big killer. Stress will get your ass. It's always fucking shit up. It fucks stress. Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Sometimes she doesn't respond, but then sometimes she'll turn on when I'm not even talking to her. Hey Siri. How many diseases can you get from stress? Siri, how many diseases can you get from stress? I want like a number. Chronic stress can lead to high blood pressure and heart disease. It can dampen the immune system, which that'll give you like everything if you have a weak immune system. Increasing susceptibility to colds. That's because of the weak immune system. And other common infections. That's because of the weakened immune system. It can contribute to asthma, digestive disorders, cancer, and other health problems. That's crazy. See, you just gotta chill. Life gets stressful as fuck, but you gotta learn to like decompress and take that stress off, because that shit'll beat you up. That shit'll get you. Might not get you now, but it'll get you in the long term. So you gotta make sure you're sleeping properly and eating properly, doing all the shit you can to minimize stress and anxiety, depression, all that shit. Because I truly believe that our mind, I think that the human animal is given the ability to travel into the past and future, not to use information. Because I think information is just in us. I think it's always in us. Because in my view of what the hell is going on, and I'm just some fucking weird black guy, so I'm just speculating here. I think that we have a soul, whatever that soul may be, whatever energy or whatever the fuck it may be. And I think that we have this, maybe it's in a higher dimension, maybe it's after death, whatever the fuck they're talking about, maybe it's the same thing. But I think we have access to all information at some level of our being. And when we learn information, we're just uncovering information. And that's why when you don't learn, you're not really like a person. You don't seem like a deep, authentic, true human being, maybe, because you're not uncovering your true self. You know what I'm saying? Because to discover who you are, and that's very important, you have to research a lot, and you have to dive into a lot of different subjects and information and history and all this shit to figure out what the human being is and what we've been doing, what we're capable of, and all this shit. And what the fuck was I talking about? Jesus Christ, I keep losing my train of thought. Just give me a second. God damn it. I know it'll come back, but I also don't want to leave this shit without like talking and shit. It's on like the tip of my brain. Oh yes. I remember. I knew it. So, besides all that, I think that we're uncovering information that we are already innate to in our being, and it's just uncovering pieces of ourselves, and we're gaining information about us and other human beings, and just learning more about life itself. You know what I'm saying? Obviously. So I think that's innate to the human being. It's just we have phones and all this other shit to where we have access to more information than any other human being or generation of human being ever to exist, as far as we know. And so I think the ability to travel into the past and future was to better ourselves. We can see our mistakes and others' mistakes, and to see like what's happened in the past, just everything that's happened in the past. And we can use that information to make our present life more sustainable, I'd say. You know what I'm saying? Use your resources more wisely, whatever resources those may be at the time that you are born into, whatever generation. Whether you're a hunter-gatherer or you are in 2024 right now. And then you use that information, or not that information, but you use these present sustainabilities, you use these present resources, and if you use them wise enough and you think clear enough with the information that you have, if you have enough information, of course, then you can project a better future, and then you can keep moving forward and become a better human being. And I think that's why I'm always emphasizing that we have to work on ourselves and become better and do all this shit, is because I think that's what we're here for. I think life is the school. Like, everybody stops learning after school. After, whether high school or college, they stop learning. And they're like, oh, I'm educated now. No, you're not. I think life is the education. You know what I'm saying? Life is the experience we're here to gain. And if you're just throwing it away by like sitting on the couch every day watching fucking Grey's Anatomy eating Cheetos, then like you're not living up to the full potential of being a human being. And then you get on your deathbed and you're like, fuck, I wasted it all away. What did I do? And that scares me. I don't ever want to be in that position. I don't want to ever be in a position where I didn't at least try to live up to my full potential and try to succeed in every aspect I can. I want to try as many things as I can. I want to do as many things as I can. I know I got to focus on specific aspects. Like I'm going to focus on this podcast. I'm going to focus on making money. I'm going to focus on doing a lot of other shit. But I'm going to try to keep it small, because to pick like a path that you're going to go down, well, you kind of have to. You kind of have to pick one certain path. Because if you're like young like I am, and you're just kind of spread out everywhere, then you don't really have one specified thing. And then you're not really, I guess, I don't know. I kind of agree and I kind of disagree. It takes a certain level to where you can do more things. But I think you obviously have to have one thing. You have to start with something. You have to have something that you're good at, something that you can achieve that keeps you from falling below, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be financially, emotionally, mentally, whatever the fuck it may be. Something you're good at, something you're passionate about. And you take that thing, and if you can get that off the ground, and you can get some wealth, and you can succeed in that era, then there's probably other areas you can succeed in. But as human beings, we only have so much time, especially if we want families, and we want fucking all the other shit we want to do, you know what I'm saying? We just gotta enjoy the time we got. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna get off this thing, go clean up the house a little bit, and fucking shower, because I smell. We're gonna get the webcam, and we're gonna fucking get this shit up and going. Hopefully, we're gonna find a good one. We're probably gonna go half and half on it. I'm probably gonna try to convince Chance to want to use the phone until we do, because I don't want to lose footage and shit anymore. And this shit's guaranteed, usually. Hopefully I didn't jinx it. But that's all I really gotta say, boy. Bye.